frustrations.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So.
Alright, well, let's have you take off your jacket and let's get your weight.
Okay. It won't be good, I'll tell you that much.
242.6. That's a pretty big rebound.
Happy and pissed at the same time. I re-signed up for Diet Bet, and instead of gaining weight after last time I signed up and then gained a whole bunch of weight, I gained a whole bunch and then signed up, and then now it's going to, I lost like 3 pounds, according to my scale, I lost about 3 pounds since I signed up.
So what was your weight when you first signed up?
It was like 247.
Okay.
It was kind of weird. It was like 248, and I couldn't get the camera to work for me. And so I tried again, and it came out 247, and this is within minutes.
Okay.
So.
Trying to get it here. There we go. So that was 242.6, is that right?
Yes.
Alright, so talk to me about, you did the diet bet, right?
Yeah.
Were you purposely trying to gain weight?
No.
So you could start coming down, or?
No, I was gaining weight progressively before that, and it just happened, because they set it up and it says it will start on this day,
right.
Type of thing. And so I was waiting because when I tried to sign up before, it wouldn't accept it because it wasn't the right day.
Okay.
And that's all it was to it.
All right. Well, give me 3 things that you did well this past week.
How's the bruises, dear? We had a very heart-to-heart talk, because I told him I really want to make some changes this year. Because last year I feel like I was more the student in the process of losing weight, and this year I want to work towards the teacher side. And only because, as when you're trying to teach something, you really got to know your stuff. You really have to delve into it and learn it. And so I want to work towards that side. And, like how you wanted me to have short clips of the highlights of all our videoing and stuff like we've been doing. I told him I want to do that. I want to be left alone so I can do that, because I get so busy, it's like I don't have time, type of thing. I want to be able to give you the minutes that you want. You said about 3 minutes per video or something like that. I want to be able to do that for you, but I also want to do, for me, I want to do a video expanding on what was, whatever the subject was for that week. I want to expand on it and do a lesson or something like that in that for my channel. And that's kind of what I'm, wanting to do. And so I told him it's going to require some changes around the house because,
like what?
Well, one, let me do it, because I don't always get left alone. And some of his habits, like before it was first were the food Nazi, and then we went to the extreme opposite where he wants to go to, say, Arby's. Arby's has not been a very good place for me to go eat, And he says, well, it has crispy chicken this and crispy chicken that. And he's thinking it has chicken. I'm thinking the word crispy, okay? Any food that starts with the word crispy is a bad word. And he's not getting that.
Is it true? I'm not trying to call you out.
I know.
I know. So when you talk about a little bit of a heart, a little bit of a talk, right? You're realizing, if I were to sum that up, right, is you need more support at home to make this effectively work in the long term.
Right.
All right, so that's one element. How'd that conversation go?
Well, we're still going through things. So, like lately, he's been wanting to go to King Soopers and buy their whole chicken crispy thing. And I told him, you can buy just, you just want some legs, a couple of legs or whatever, a couple of pieces. Why don't you just buy enough for you instead of for the whole family. Because I really don't want any.
Right.
You know, and if it's there,
You're
I'm going
gonna
to
eat
eat.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And
just,
I'm throwing the.
you're throwing a
Okay.
wrench into my system. You know, that's one thing.
Do you see that?
Give me the camera.
Like,
You need to talk. Confession.
Well, it's not a confession.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you see from an environment perspective at home?
yeah,
Right.
I know where it's coming from, and I've been trying. You know, when we're coming here, we got talking about it. And I said, yeah, it's just something habits that I had that I'm
Sure.
gonna have to try and. But it's still, and we got talking about the popcorn at the theater too.
Sure.
But, yeah, it's things, and I understand, and I keep telling, I even made the comment, in the car. She said, you know, with the popcorn, I said, you can get the small cotton popcorn, don't get any butter on it. And then she said, it's no good without the butter. But I do like the butter on my popcorn too. But I'm trying, you know, to get going. I've been lax at some of it. Trying to help them, trying to get back to, getting back at that and looking at some more of it to help. I'm going to make an effort to try to
Okay.
help them with it.
All right. Well, that's all. I think that's all anybody can ask, right? Is, you know, hearing you say that I'm going to try to make an effort to do those things, and that's great. I mean, that's really good. So that's one element that you did, right? Is okay. I've realized I've got to make some changes in the environment, and I needed to have a heart-to-heart talk with people. What about Michael?
He surprised us on his own. The last 2 times we went grocery shopping, you know, I said, okay, I'm getting ready to go grocery shopping. Give me a list of what you want, you know. And he's actually had healthy choices. And this last one, he had like veggie burgers on there, chicken breasts,
Skinless.
skinless chicken breasts,
Good.
fat-free snacks, stuff like that. He's not still big into the vegetables, but he did this last week. He did surprise me. I had bought a salad from Subway, and he goes, you can have whatever you want on the salad? And I'm like, yeah. You know, it's like, so I took him there, and he likes, you know, certain kind of chicken stuff, you know. And so he had the salad fixed with the type of topping that he
Right.
liked, and he liked that a whole lot better. And I says, you can do that. You can have a Subway salad, you know, any sandwiches or toppings or meats,
Right.
so you can have it made into that. And he's like, oh. I was like, okay. There's been times where I've asked to, you know, like, you know, whatever topping I want, and they put like twice the meat on there than I really want, and so I'll just pick off all the meat and set it aside and eat what I want out of the salad, you know, that kind of thing. But he is now training to bulk the muscle and lean the fat.
Okay.
And it's basically what he's trying to do. And he's doing this on his own, and every now and then I'll give him a pointer, and he says, Mom, I've been through this, I know what I'm doing.
Okay. All right, so you laid the foundation. So what other thing did you do?
We are upping my gym stuff, our workouts. Tuesday is swim day, and I've managed, swimming like I used to, it really hurts my back. So I've come up with where my feet are pedaling like I'm on a bicycle, and then the top is basically this. It's forever slow getting across the pool, but at least I'm moving forward, and it's an hour's worth of the same movement.
Okay.
You know, so it's basically I'm burning the calories. You know, at
Right.
least I'm burning calories. I'm moving the muscles and that kind of thing, and then I go and sit in the hot tub for 15 minutes. Longer this time because I was getting ready to leave the pool when this one shows up, and he's like, oh, let's just sit in the pool. And I'm like, I'm already in here for 15 minutes, and I'm going to throw up. So I sat on the edge of the pool while he sat there, but I was, you know, where the air jets are.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to have my legs. I was told that would be helpful for the circulation for the
Right.
legs. So I was sitting there you know, moving my legs back and forth over that jet thing and hoping it helps, you know, type of thing. So that's Tuesday. Thursday is supposed to be racquetball day. If we get but he's got a doctor's appointment this time, so I'm gonna go upstairs and do the track on Thursday. And then Saturday is the track with the machines.
Okay.
Which my last time I did the machines, I did 2,193 pounds. So
Good.
I kinda upped it a little. And
So you got activity in, right? And then give me one more thing that you did that's positive compared to the previous week.
keeping up with my numbers on my little walk thing.
Okay.
I've been setting a goal on a daily basis to have so many steps before a certain time of the day. So then the rest of the day, hopefully it'll get over the 10,000.
Right.
But I gotta at least have this much before, you know, noon type
Okay.
of thing. Which is like 3,500 right now. I have to have before noon, so that the rest of the day it should be good.
All right. So how many? What's your total day? The total amount that you're trying to get in a day?
I'm trying to hit the 10,000 a day.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make it
What are you averaging?
There's a few times I've gotten over the 10,000. I've had one day where I got to 17,000 or 1,700, not 1,700. Or wait.
It would be 17, yeah, if it's up that.
17,000, yeah. And then but I've had days where I didn't hit that, and it's mainly because I've been just stuck at the house all day.
Right.
You know, and there's only so much I can do around there, and it's cold outside,
Right.
and I really don't feel like going outside.
Okay.
Especially when my fingers are blue.
So if you look at those three things, what is one element of the week that you say, you know what, I could do better at?
That and the food. I've been forcing, to be honest, I've been forcing food down. Because
Okay.
you know, with the depression, I don't want to eat, and so I just try to avoid it for all it's worth, and I'm trying to force the food, and there's been a couple of times where I've went over the goal.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't planned, it just
Right.
happened. I'm trying to, you know, I even have my little snack here with my food in it, you know, trying to make sure I eat like I was when I first started type of thing, you know, like my taco salad, you know, I have my pre-made, you know, I have my little pre-made amounts, and so I would make a nice salad with as much veggies and whatever's in it, and then put my taco meat on top of that, have my salad.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but that's more of a forced thing than the working out, and just because my head's just not,
Right.
my head's fighting the food.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I know I had one day I just didn't want to get out of bed, and Jack, him and Michael took off, and I just did not want to get out of bed that day. I was just like, I want to hide under the covers and never come out. And Michael's dog, like I said, I think he'd make a good service dog because he's always getting after me. And you know how I was saying he wouldn't get on the bed? He was all over the bed. He was trampling me and forcing, you know, bugging me until I had no choice but to get up. So, and he's been forcing me to play with him more. You know, it's like, you know, you're moping, come on, let's play, type of thing. So he's been distracting me a lot. I've been making changes. I've been telling him I want to make some changes, you know, with my business wise and all that kind of stuff. Well, we made one change, got a new ring. My wedding rings kept falling off, and so we got my wedding ring is like a size 10. This is size 8, and I put a thing on there to try to keep it from because it was still falling off. So I put that on there hoping that it'll keep it from falling off.
So all the things that you talked about that you did well, the one area that you didn't do so well, is that something that you're able to, like, so if you focus on this coming week, right, getting back to the food, getting back to being on task with the diet, that's the one element that you think that you can improve upon this coming week, right? Obviously, you mentioned the steps, right?
Yeah.
So that would be two things. I mean, you got back trying to hit your numbers, but you didn't hit all the numbers like you were shooting for. But, you know, I think the big thing that I took away is you got a little bit more activity at the gym. Second thing, too, is you set the foundation at home from a social perspective, needing to do X, Y, Z. Right? Now that you put that out there, right, you just can't put it out there and expect it just to be there.
Yeah.
Right? You have to put it out there and then also put those boundaries down that says this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to go and get crispy chicken, just get enough just for you. Nobody else. Just get enough for you. If that's what you want, that's your choice.
Right.
But that's not my choice.
Right.
Right? Same thing if you go to the store. Right?
Mhm.
I'm going to get things for me.
Right.
And if you don't like those things, then you need to get some things for you. I'll be more than glad to pick those things up, but I'm not going to pick up a lot of it. Right? So I think that puts you back in control of what you're trying to accomplish. Right?
Right.
And moving forward. Obviously, your level of aura and where you're at with grief appears to be better this week than it was the previous week, which would be rightfully so. And I noticed you're journaling too, so that tends to help. So each day gets a little bit easier,
Yeah.
right? You move through that stage of grief, right, and just move forward. Doesn't mean you got to forget who Susie was. It's not. That's not what you're doing. You're not forgetting and moving on, right?
Well, yeah, and especially when I'm working on, you know, all of December's videos are finally done. And of course, she's in pretty much all of them. It's like I'm doing workout or whatever. It's not a case I'm focusing on her. It's
Right.
just I'm doing something and you see her walking in the background,
Right.
type of thing. Or I'm recording him and I'll see her walk by or something like that. You know?
Okay.
It's just little things like that.
Okay. All right.
A friend of mine, he had a friend from the UK who had died. He committed suicide. And he says watching his videos makes him feel like he's still there. And I said, I know what you mean. I feel the same way. So.
And it's okay to have those moments.
Yeah. There's been times I get, you know, I want to get angry. Most of it's been at Zafira because, believe it or not, you can train a cat. I did not know that. Casper, when she wants attention, she's learned to, you know, just pat me. You know, it's like, hi, I'm down here, give me attention, I need something, you know, and I'll, okay, well, tell me what it is you want, you know, and she's learning how to communicate with me to tell me what it is that I need, you know, in whatever form that may be.
Right.
Cat Saphira, girlfriend is just cross-eyed, confused. You can tell the brain just not always attached there. And so when she wants something, it's like, just dig the claws in, you know, and I jump and scream because I got a claw in the middle of my leg and I have to, you know, and in process of trying to detach her, she thinks I'm punishing her. I'm just trying to remove a claw from my skin. And so we're working on it, on the training for her, but other than that, you know, Jack does his thing. He likes to play. He's a playful pup. Michael's more mellowed out. He has a buddy that comes over all the time. His name is Bobby. And Bobby got him into veggie burgers. I can't tell you if they're good or bad. I haven't really thought about it. But evidently when Bobby was living in Florida, he had lived on veggie burgers. And so he's interested. And I was like thankful that this person who has the worst concept of food.
Mhm.
Actually introduced my son into something that might be healthy, and I was like, interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's cheeseburger with all the greases you can put on it would make him happy. He's just that kind of person, and I just thought it was interesting that he liked something that had a lot of vegetables in it. That kind of thing.
So this week, you put the foundation. So the big thing that I heard you say that I want to take away from today is, one, getting back to being on task with the food.
Mhm.
Second thing too is trying to increase your activity with the number count of getting to those 10,000 steps a day.
Mhm.
Now the good thing too, the weather's going to turn, so it looks like it's going to be favorable for the next week, so where you can get out and do those things,
Mhm.
right? So that should help, right? And I think, from a standpoint, we'll see where you're at next week,
Mhm.
right? A little bit concerning that you had that kind of a rebound, right?
You and me both. I
And
wasn't
then
very happy
come back
with it.
down. So, but we'll see where you're at next week. If you can continue to do those things, I think that's where we want to see just change. So I really want to focus on task-specific things,
Mhm.
right? Because I think that's where sometimes we can get complacent, right? And we push everything aside. But if we focus on the task-specific things, then the scale obviously will change. So.
I had a kind of a question. It's probably silly. Can your emotions affect the way that your body processes the food, going to the bathroom, that kind of thing?
Well, it can process. Emotions can use what we call irritable bowel,
Mhm.
right? It can be psychosomatic, meaning that if you're overly stressed or depressed, it can disrupt stress can do crazy things to the intestinal tract. So it can lead to constipation. It can lead to diarrhea in some individuals, and so it's psychosomatic. There's a lot of things that the brain does physiologically control, especially when you are stressed. So it's possible that could happen. It's more probable that would happen than anything with like metabolism or anything like that. So, so short-term stress can affect bowel regularity.
Okay, well, I was just wondering, because I had like 2 days where I just could not go
Mhm.
at all. If I'm lucky, I'll pee, but that's a big lot of
Right.
it. And he can tell you yesterday I finally was, making frequent trips to the bathroom, and I was actually doubled over at the grocery store from cramps and pain and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and I was just wondering if emotion
Mhm.
would cause that.
Can.
Because I was like, this is the only other thing I can think of, because
Right.
I'm like pushing the
Right.
food like I'm supposed to.
Right.
But I couldn't think of anything else, and and I know frustration was maxing out, because it's like, okay, I'm upping my exercise, I'm
Right.
trying to get on track with the food, I'm forcing it, even though I don't want to do it, I'm forcing it for all it's worth.
Right.
And I'm gaining weight, like a pound a day, and it's driving
Yeah.
me crazy. And like I said, I finally got up. The highest number I saw on my scale was 248, and then it
Right.
started going down. But it was just,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what am I doing wrong? I'm hoping maybe, the fact that I'm doing more workout is causing more muscle, which is going to cause a weight gain, water, that kind of thing. But I know the food's not perfect.
Right.
And that's the reason why I kind of got after him. It's like, before, last year, I hated popcorn. And now it's like every time we go into the thing, I'm eating popcorn. I don't want to eat popcorn. I really don't want it. And
Right.
I'm having it every week. I don't want that. So he finally agreed that I don't have to have it, type of thing. And I says, I would be happier to just bring my food and be good, and have a soda, buy
Right.
like a diet soda or something like that. So we're
How are you feeling
making.
over the next 2 weeks? If I push you out 2 weeks, is that going to be good, or do you?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I'd be okay.
Let's
I
take
do
a-
know I would need some stuff though.
Okay. So if I look at, that would be
Oh.
the 29th.
Yeah. And I had numbers for you. My measurements.
Okay. I have apple cinnamon bars, everybody's favorite.
Yes.
And what flavor of shakes do you want?
Strawberry and chocolate?
You said something else about one of the pills, if it was gonna go that far out.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more pills.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. That's that one.
Let me go get those for you real fast, okay?
Okay.